Welcome to the FFL Weekly, your one stop for all things fantasy football. Only here will you find expert analysis, magnificent takes, and in-depth reviews that will leave you wanting more. Join us on the season-long quest to find out who will be crowned the next FFL champion. Now, here are your hosts, Mark AT9 and Power Surge 55.
On my screen.
Welcome in, everyone, to another week of the FFL. And Mark AT is not showing up again. Hold on, let me get him. There he is, folks. There's this nice little picture of him. Rob Ben, welcome in. I did not plug in my cable. Uh-oh. Is there a responding error, team? Can everyone in the chat see the stream? We got a let's go from Rob Ben. Looks like he's living in China with the crazy font there. I'm going to go ahead and go. What do you think, Mark AT? Let's let it rip.
Yeah, let's dive right into this.
Chat, if you can't see something, let me know. Send a text. Week 10 has come and gone. Wow. Another season flying by here. 4 weeks to go. Crazy. Some big games last week. A lot of movement in the playoff standings as we edge closer to the end of the season. We'll take a look at Lisan Al Zapatas, which I've branded probably not on tonight, but this has to do with Dune, the movie Dune. It's the chosen one. And then this is Zapatas is the some Mexican revolutionary leader from 1920 or something. So Brandon's saying he's the chosen Mexican leader. So best of luck to you, Brandon. Good win last week against You're Not Worthy. Of course, Scott showed up last week, but not this week. Thank you, chat, for confirming you can see us. Yes, Adam is off camera by choice. Great showing by Purdy for Scott, but unfortunately his running backs have fallen off. He had to start Cam Makers this week. That's a rough go.
I'm dealing with some connection issues.
And then Zay, after 30 points last week, scores 3. That's a big difference. I mean, of course, Scott pretty much knew this game was over on Thursday night. Jamar Chase, 44 points. But, if you take a look here, you take those 44 points away from Brandon, he didn't need them. So I'll reiterate that Chase is overrated. Brandon would have won this game without Chase. Actually, I'm sorry. He would.
Yes, but if Scooter was able to actually do something.
Yeah, I know. It's all relative, right? So hope Scott can rebound. He's still right there in the playoff hunt, 5-5. So we'll see what we can do. Brandon now has firmly risen to number 1 in the league here with that win, and we'll show those details later, of course. Another bad loss was Sauce Reekman this week. Tough showing for him. He was projected to give Burrow a run for his money and honestly win, but Burrow was right there at his projection. Thanks to Burrow, huge game from him on Thursday as well, along with Chase, of course. Cousins did not really show up for Ross, and when he can't have Barkley and Swift, put up those numbers, Ross is in some trouble. So even though really overall around wasn't a great game by anyone outside of Burrow, Ross just couldn't get anything going this week. In fact, as I look at it, his kicker was his best player, 15 points, and then his only other person to score double digits was Cousins, QB. So Ross is going to look turn around. Good game from Burrow. This game had huge implications, as we noted in the playoff rankings. So we'll get to that again, as I said. But big win for Mike this week. Scott says all his team decided to go on a bye. That's fair, Scott. B Shields, I changed my name to Zapata, who is the person who led them. Yes, B Shields, I did say that. Yes, thank you. I looked it up, buddy. His holiday is this week, so congratulations to Zapatas. What's to the right? Best manager. So, yeah, I was going to get to that, Scott. We'll get to that later, but, of course, my truncated image is, let's see if I do this. That's not going to work since I have this screen messed up. Best manager this week was Scooter Main because He set the perfect possible lineup, even though he only scored 65. And the worst manager this week was Power Surge. He set the worst lineup. He could have scored 99.3 points, and he only scored 76.8.
Traeger stream is going down.
Oh man.
Wait, I think it's back.
It's back.
Never mind. I don't know.
All right. Well, that's how funny is that? Because Scott had the best lineup. Apparently, he lost. I had the worst lineup, and I won. It's crazy how it works. Yeah, so they Sleeper kind of redid the weekly report, so it's pretty cool to take a look at that. I'll have to fix my screen so we can kind of see the other stuff on the right as well. Jumping back, Coach Vance continues to climb the ladder here. Another big win against Doc Robber, who changed his name to Control-Alt-Delete, and Doc Rob might want to delete his team.
Control-Alt-Defeat.
Yeah, defeat. Sorry, thank you, Adam, because he did get defeated. And let's take a look at that awful trade here. 20 points for Allen. Rob didn't even start the QB you got because he's hurt. Montgomery Hunt is pretty even. Debo only 7 points for Rob. Rob's in some trouble. He had no wide receivers this week. Pickens, going to kind of set it apart for Ryan there. And then Buffalo defense, just crazy showing there. 21 points for Ryan. And that's all he needed. So Ryan back to 4-6. Rob's still hanging on, 6-4, still in the playoff spot. Let's see what he can do going ahead. And then we'll jump up here. Horrible trade versus Team Dash. Horrible trade, Nate. He's non-existent. Nate, if you're in the chat, let us know. He's been ghosting just like his team's been ghosting. I think he was 3-0 to start, 3-1. Lost about 5 or 6 in a row. Dash is coming alive. It's crazy. Rob stole his boy Allen, and all of a sudden now Hurts is just dominating. He's scoring more than Allen. Dash can't miss. I tell you, he's on a roll. And then Bijan Robinson, this dude coming alive this year. Amazing to see for Bijan. Some good play out of Taylor and Harrison for Nate, but that wasn't enough to counteract. And Kelsey's been good for Nate too, so give him credit there. But just not enough to counteract Hurts and Bijan this week. So decent showing for the Bucks, but another loss, and he's starting to hurt, just like a couple of these teams. Jump down to we'll jump back up here to Power Show 55 against Raging Clue. We called this one a pretty important game of the week as well. Both teams were 2-7 going into the week. Andrew decided to drop Murray, who scored 31 points this week, of course, and threw in Nix. This was a fun matchup to watch. Daniel Jones had 2 points at halftime, ended with 14. Nix had like 14 points at halftime, ended with 16. So a little nerve-wracking for Andrew. Bigsby, unfortunately for Kevin, had one good week and has just shit the bed the rest of the time. And so it's good to see McCaffrey back for Andrew. He's had tough lineup choices here. He's got such a good lineup now. It's tough who to play. Good to see a TD for Tyreek. For Kevin, he's been tough first-round pick this season.
Yeah, I believe no touchdowns since week 1, I believe.
Yeah, it's crazy. Andrew got bailed out by Philly defense this week, 23 points. Really the difference in this game, as you can see. So Andrew survives another week. It's a very long shot. He's still alive. Kevin still not mathematically eliminated, but he's in big trouble. And then we'll tune into the Monday night game. This was a nail biter if anyone was tuning in Monday night. Jess versus Adam. Jess looked like she was going to pull it out. She had Williams and Kupp going, and Williams kind of just didn't show up. He had a fumble. That was huge, as you can tell. Only 3 point. Really, what is that, Adam? 2.5 points. 2.58 point difference here. It's a tough loss for Jess. She scored the third most points this week with the loss. I've been there, Jess.
I'm not gonna lie.
Happened to me.
I thought I was gonna lose when Jackson put up 30.
Yeah, obviously Jackson, huge game. Daniels did not show up for Adam this week, but everyone else kind of did for him. Calvin Ridley, I mean, this guy, Jesus.
That's my boy. Let's go.
Pick this dude up off the waiver wire, and all of a sudden he starts playing. It's crazy to see. I mean, that's a pretty lucky pickup for Adam. We'll see if he can continue that. So Pretty, call what it is. Pretty lucky win for Adam to hold on there against Chess, but both teams are 7-3 and are looking prime for the playoffs. But they'll be fighting for that bye. So, big game there. I believe that everyone will jump down to weekly challenges. Ignore that. We're gonna scroll back up. Okay, we got some chat in the chat. We got right. I'm ready to trade. Scott says send me one now. B Shields, I have a trade out to you. It was a fair trade, still sitting there if you want it. Sorry, Scoot, your team's not looking good, says Rabbi. Ouch. All right, so we'll jump into the challenge for week 10. It was Lucky AF, Adam. That was the lowest scoring winning team. Any guesses who that was this week?
70 points masterclass from your boy Power Surge.
I love it. Masterclass, 70 points from your boy Power Surge. Oh my God, I'm jumping around here. Hold on. 78.8. Okay, thank you. And Brandon with the high score this week, 108.44. Excuse the typo there. So congrats to Brandon, $5 more. And then, here we go. We called it last week. I unfortunately got some crap from this player, this owner, when I said he might be the one to go down. A valiant effort from this player. He defending champ from last season and lasted till week 10, but Ross was the one to fall this week, which I gotta say it's kind of fitting. I mean, Alex and Ryan have really been the two best owners in throughout the league history, if you look at the stats, and so it's kind of fitting for the first season of Survivor that they're the last two battling it out this week, so that'll be fun to watch. Ross went down with a score of 66.44 this week. It's a tough week for him, but valiant effort here in the Survivor League.
I cannot believe Ryan is still on this.
Yeah, Ryan almost got eliminated week 1 and week 2, but I guess the good teams figure out a way to survive, and that's what he did. So we'll jump down here to my updated playoff bracket here with my fancy colors. So green arrow means you moved up since last week. So Captain Gator moved from 2 seed up to the 1 seed with his win. He's now at 8-2, only team at 8-2. Jess fell from 1-2 with her loss to Adam. She still holds the tiebreaker over Adam with points scored, which Adam seems to be upset about, but he can cry all he wants because that's how it's been the whole season history, the whole league history. And was the reason yours truly did not get the 2 seed by last year and ended up not winning at all, which he would have done.
Well, there's a new administration now, so
we'll see about that. We can vote for a new commissioner at the end of the year. That's fine with me because I'm out.
Oh God, Trig.
B Shields.
Trig's gone.
What do you do win for the Survivor Series? You win $40, B Shields, as we mentioned on the intro show. A DVD docs at Survivor, so you have $40. I don't know how many seasons. Are you there? Huh? Am I there, Adam? Are you still here?
I don't know if it's my connection or your connection.
But... Adam, we lost you. Rip. So you can buy probably a couple seasons, Brandon, with $40 of Survivor. So, so back quickly to the playoff ranking before my internet crashes. Well, Jess, he wanted to go head-to-head, of course, because he beat you this week. That's why he wants to decide instead of points, but he doesn't get it. So don't worry, Jess. We're not changing that. Stock Rob stayed at 6.
Wants to change anything. That was Mark AT. So
Mark AT stays at 3rd seed, and Doc stays at the 4th seed. But Mike Madden, look at this. 2 double greens. He jumped from in the hunt past the 6th seed all the way up to the 5 seed with his win this week. He moved to 5-5, and he has the most points scored for any 5-5 team. So that meant Scooter Main dropped from 5 to 6, and unfortunately Sauce Riekman dropped from 6 to out of the playoffs right now. So
Sauce Riekman,
hate to see it for Sauce Riekman.
Ross,
he's still sitting there, still alive. Obviously 5-5, he's right there, tied with it. He's just going to have to make sure he scores some points this week. Dash as well. He's, as we said, he's won 5 of 6. He's right there. Ryan's won, I believe, 4 of 6. So he's right there as well. And then the teams down below, maybe they can get some voodoo, something going there to give them some hope. Not mathematically eliminated yet, but not looking good.
I believe everybody's still in the hunt, though, Trig, technically, because who knows voodoo? Like, when is that ever used?
I don't know. B-Shields, Mike has a scary team. Mike seems looking good, looking better. Right. Money for agility rating and being in the FFL every week. Well, if that was true, right, which I'm all for, that means I would get all the money every week. So I would divvy out some money to you guys, but All right, jumping back to week 11. Quick recap or quick look here. Some big games. We'll start down here with Horrible Trade Nate versus Zapatas Brandon. And Stroud's has been unfortunately terrible for Nate this year. He does get what's his name back at him? Nico Collins this week, so hopefully that'll help Stroud out. Darnold had roughly.
I was supposed to play last week, but he didn't.
He was supposed to, yeah, but he didn't. Obviously with Chase. Oh, Marvin Harrison on a bye is tough to see for Nate. That's his guy. Sutton. Speaking of another trade, Brandon got Sutton off of Andrew, who was bad all season up until the last couple weeks, and he's really showed up. So props to Brandon for holding on to him. Julia Dacey in the chat. Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Who dis? I don't know, Julia. Welcome to the chat. We're happy you're here. And then who else we got? So I'm going to go to the edge to Brandon on this one. Obviously, number 1 seed, projected big win. Harrison's on in for Nate, but I'm not sure who he'll sub in. He doesn't really have much down here. I guess Hutchinson gets on a bye as well. So, Nate, if you're there, I'm open to a trade. I got plenty of wide receivers. Always looking to improve.
Yeah, don't worry. Trey is always looking to fleece as your week reminder.
Yes. Speaking of fleecing, we'll go to Coach Vance versus It's All on the Hips. Now, look at this matchup. 90s projections here. Big matchup. If Ryan can get a win here, jump to 5 and 6, that puts him right back in it. And Ross is looking to stop the bleeding this here. One, though. So Ross is going to go with Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes has been playing better this lately. We'll see what he can do. Obviously, Allen is a stud there. Henry versus Barkley. This is probably, I don't know, I'll look it up, but it's just 1v2 running back wise. And then Montgomery versus Swift, another good battle.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is a great battle. Wide receivers are pretty even. Lamb's not so strong right now because he's missing. What's his name? Dak, yes. Tough call here. I'm going to give this one to Sauce. I think he's going to stop the bleeding this week and pull it out. Maybe dash Coach Vance's hopes here. Julia Dacey, my stepdad Greg invited me. He said there would be tacos. Yes, that's talk to Al Zapatas, aka Captain B Shields, for the tacos. That's this guy right here. So he's got the tacos for you. Scott, I need a wide receiver. Yes, let me know. So speaking of Scott, we're going to go to You're Not Worthy, Scooter Main versus Dash. Another good matchup here, 5v5 matchup. So key matchup for both these players, just like the last game.
Just like last season. Like how all the last few weeks are like pretty crazy.
It all comes to head, doesn't it? Love it. Love it, the drama here in the FFL. It's just Brees Hall and Jacobs, they've been getting projections, but they haven't been putting out lately. I got to go give the edge here to Alex. I mean, if Zay can show back up, have a big game. He's got Njigba back in there, who had a huge game a couple weeks ago. Nakua has been looking good since he's been back. There's I get the slight edge to Scott here with his wide receivers. And Brock Bauer. Hawkinson's is back for Alex. That's an interesting play there.
I think he's been back for a few weeks. Not sure.
Scott picked up Detroit defense. That's a good pickup. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm going to give the edge to Scott. Dark Brandon versus my cuppeth runneth over. So,
Coach Waltz.
This could be it. The old Coach Waltz he's going for broke now. You know, he's getting aggressive, Dark Brandon style. Eyes are red. He's coming for it. You know, he's going for broke. So he's got the projected win right now.
Quite the challenge.
Knicks versus Jackson. I mean, 3-7 versus 7-3. This is it for Andrew. If Jess pulls out the win, Andrew's season's definitely over. So he's gonna lay it all on the line. I mean, there he is. He's got McCaffrey finally back.
17 points.
17 points. I mean, Gibbs. I mean, McCaffrey. London, Adams, Hopkins. I mean, Njoku. This roster is just stacked now. Unfortunately, Smith on the bench. Unfortunately, I think it's just way too late for Andrew to get it back together. He can't afford any losses, and he's going up against one of the best teams in the league this week, and he's going to need a lot of help. So we'll give it to Andrew because we want to see him win. We want to see him, staying live.
Yeah, Commissioner.
We want to see a show. We want to see a show next week. If he's out of it, maybe there's no show. So,
oh no,
I don't want to say if you want to root for someone, but we'll give the edge. We'll give the edge to Andrew. Raging Clue versus 0-2 Assassinations. So, wow, look at his projections for Adam. Almost 100 points this week. Jordan Love has been back for Kevin. Kevin's had unfortunate injury issues this season. Love's been hurt. Walker's been hurt. But it's nice to have him back. Mixon's a stud for Adam. Obviously, Daniels. The Browns. The Brown boys. If Ridley keeps showing up for Adam, I don't know how Kevin can win this week.
He's got Mark Andrews, though.
Mark Andrews showed up for him last week. And Tyreek, who had a decent game last week. I don't want to say it's over, but my heart wants Raging Clue to take this one, but my brain says we got to give it to Adam.
How nice of you.
Captain B Shields, I'm nervous at playing you next week. You better be nervous. Dark Brandon's coming. He's coming to get the 7-7 and not make the playoffs based on points scored. So, just want a strong finish. Lastly, this week we got Control Alt Defeat, excuse me, I misspoke earlier, versus Burrow Chubb. And we said Mike's the team on the rise, as you saw in the playoff bracket. Rob's the team on the fall. We need Rob to stop the bleeding. This is inaccurate predictions because I think Mike's got a couple people. Yeah, he's got Trey McBride on bye, and he's got no defense in right now. But even if he plugs them in, say it's about 20 points, it's going to be a close projected game. Come down to Sunday night, Burrow, I think. Burrowhead. We'll see if
yeah, it might.
If he has a good game, I think he's going to pull it out. So
Tua playing the Raiders, though. I mean,
yeah,
I feel like he's going to get more than 16.
Yeah, but Rob's boy Hubbard's on bye this week. Hate to see it. Dowdle sitting there on the bench. Interesting pickup I noticed for Rob. Picked up Murray, my boy Murray, to put him on bye. So we'll see what happens there. I'm gonna give it to Doc. We'll make things interesting. Maybe Mike wants it to make it interesting. When all these teams jumble up here together at 5-5, 6-5, get some drama for the last couple weeks of the season. I want that bye week preview of the playoffs, says Fightation. Yes, Fightation. If you joined the chat late, we can scroll back to that preview. But here's where we stand today. So sitting there with that bye week, it's very important because, as I said last year, I lost out on last week on that bye week, dropped to the 3 seed, and then lost. Brandon had some immaculate showing he's never had before, and I lost to him. It was nuts. Very upsetting. Still not over it, in case you can't tell. So, I guess for real quick, while we're here, we'll jump up to, this is the wrong way to go, to Week 12 Challenge, or Week 11, excuse me, Immaculate. So, team starting wide receiver with the most receptions. So, not yards, just receptions.
Interesting.
So interesting. You know, you might get someone like me, Drake London, gets 8 catches for 15 yards, and then maybe you win that one. So
That's the funny thing because we don't actually score by receptions. So
right. Oh, okay, I got it, Brandon. Sorry about that. So preview of the playoffs. Playoffs is Jess versus Brandon next week. I thought originally he was talking about playing me, but if we jump to week 12, you can see there it is. Kapith versus Zapatas. Week 12. So that will be a huge matchup. All right. Joey B says right in the chat. Yes, Joey B. Anything else, Adam, before we close out another successful FFL weekly show?
nothing from me. Good luck as always. Let's go, Joe Cool.
Let's go, Joe Cool. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate it. Have a good time doing this. So, best of luck to everyone this week. And we'll talk to you. Oh, trade deadline this week. So, offer me something. Peace.